is the Fox 5 News Block.
Well, a major step in keeping the subway safer, the new plan Mayor Adams just announced aimed at supporting those with a severe mental illness. And some breaking news here. Israel and Hamas have agreed to a ceasefire. The deal calls for the release of hostages and humanitarian aid to enter the Gaza Strip. Good afternoon. I'm Bianca Peters. Welcome to the News Block. Let's take a live look outside, those moments first. But here it is on this Wednesday afternoon. Chilly out there, but at least it's clear. Let's bring in meteorologist Audrey Puente for a look at the forecast. Hey, Audrey.
Hi there, Bianca. It sure looks nice outside your window, but it is cold. We still have that Arctic blast that has worked south out of Canada, enveloping the tri-state area. So temperatures right now below the freezing mark in many spots, including right here in New York City. Central Park is checking in at 31 degrees. We're at 33 in Islip, 32 in Bridgeport. Up to the north, we find 30 in Poughkeepsie and 22 over in Monticello. Here's a look at the winds. This is a major factor today. The sustained winds are between 10 and 20 miles per hour, but check out some of these wind gusts. They're as high as 32 in Bridgeport, 47 out at Newark Liberty Airport. And when we combine this with the current temperatures, here's what it feels like outside. We have wind chills in the teens and 20s all across the region. You need to be layered up and bundled up as you head outdoors today because it's going to be very cold right through the evening. The winds will also be pretty blustery through tonight. Tomorrow, they should be a little bit lighter. Looking at the satellite and radar, we are seeing lots of sunshine across many areas. A couple of clouds filtering that sun, though, off to the north here. Further north we go, we can see downwind of the Great Lakes. We have a couple of snow showers, and there will be a threat of snow across the entire region tomorrow night. I'll have the details coming up. Bianca?
All right, Audrey, thanks so much for that. Well, now back to some breaking news we told you about. That ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas has been confirmed by the United States. So this puts a pause to the deadly conflict that has been going on for 15 months and is expected to return some hostages to their loved ones. President Biden just addressed the nation on this matter. Let's get down to the newsroom where Sharon Crowley has the very latest on this. Hi, Sharon.
Yeah, hi, Bianca. Well, this ceasefire deal would be the first step in ending the 15 months of fighting in the Gaza Strip. Under the terms of the deal, which are still being worked out, some of the hostages, including Americans, are supposed to be released in the coming weeks. Now, the deal promises the release of dozens of hostages held by Hamas in phases, and hundreds of Palestinian prisoners would be released who are being held in Israel in exchange. Now, it will allow hundreds of thousands of people displaced in Gaza to return what remains of their homes there. It would also flood badly needed humanitarian aid into that territory that, of course, has been ravaged by war. The ceasefire is set to go into effect on Sunday.
Phase 1 will last 6 weeks. It includes a full and complete ceasefire, withdrawal of Israeli forces from all the populated areas of Gaza, and the release of a number of hostages held by Hamas, including women and elderly and the wounded. And I'm proud to say Americans will be part of that hostage release in Phase 1 as well. And the Vice President and I cannot wait to welcome them home.
Well, this deal comes after months of intense negotiations. President Biden saying the ceasefire will stay in place as long as Israel and Hamas remain at the negotiating table to work toward a long-term truce. President Biden said his administration and President-elect Donald Trump's team were speaking as one in the talks. Trump said last week, famously, there would be, quote, hell to pay if the hostages were not released by the time he took office next week. Bianca?
All right, Sharon, thank you for the update on that. Meanwhile, President Biden is set to deliver his farewell address to the nation tonight. He's set to share his thoughts on his time as commander-in-chief before he leaves office at noon on January 20th. You can watch President Biden's address right here on Fox 5 starting at 8 p.m. And now to the very latest on the deadly wildfires out west. Firefighters say that they have been making progress today against the two massive fires in the Los Angeles area. But now they find themselves fighting smaller blazes, which officials say are being set by arsonists. Arrests have been made in some of those fires, but fire officials also have concerns about the wind.
Critical fire weather conditions will continue through this evening. The anticipated 70-mile-an-hour winds have yet to materialize. However, this could change, and we are still at risk.
Los Angeles Sheriff says nearly 30 people now remain missing. And less than a week before the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump, the Senate is in full swing, holding confirmation hearings on his cabinet picks. Today, Florida Senator Marco Rubio was grilled by the Senate Foreign Relations Committee to be the next Secretary of State. Longtime Trump loyalist and former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi was questioned about her experiences in order to be the next United States Attorney General. Other cabinet nominees questioned today were John Ratcliffe, Trump's choice to lead the CIA, and Sean Duffy, Trump's choice to lead the Department of Transportation. And another state will raise its flags to full staff for Monday's inauguration. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says his state will do this in light of the importance of this day and on this patriotic occasion. Texas has also ordered flags to fly at full staff on Inauguration Day. President Joe Biden called for the flags to be flown at half staff for 30 days to honor former President Jimmy Carter. That declaration will last until January 29th. Well, in an effort to help people with severe mental illness, New York City Mayor Eric Adams announcing a new program called Bridge to Home. Now, under this Bridge to Home program, New York City Health and hospitals will offer a supportive environment to patients with serious mental illness who are ready for discharge from the hospital but do not have a place to go. Bridge to Home aims to keep patients on a path towards sustained success, reducing unnecessary emergency room visits, decreasing street homelessness, and lowering interactions with the criminal justice system.
Many of these people come back again and again and again. They see the revolving door. We know how much personal trauma this is to all of us to experience watching people go through this over and over again. And so the new facility will provide a safe space for New Yorkers with mental illness to live, to heal, and be cared for so they get the life-changing help they need.
Now, Mayor Adams also announced a dramatic expansion of the city's capacity to serve people experiencing unsheltered homelessness by adding 900 safe haven shelter beds and 100 runaway and homeless youth beds as well. All right, officials say 2 children are in critical condition after a major apartment fire in Brooklyn. This is Citizen App video of the scene. More than 100 firefighters were on hand to battle this blaze, which started around 5 this morning in the Bath Beach section. Officials say a 3rd person is in critical condition, and they also say several others, including firefighters, were injured. We caught up with one person who was devastated by the fire. Here's what he had to say.
I lost my passport, I lost money, I lost every single thing.
All of a sudden, about 5 o'clock in the morning, I was smelling smoke and people were banging on my window. And I says, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a nightmare.
Well, firefighters pointed out that the door to the apartment was left open, the one that was on fire. So that allows fires to spread. And there's no word on the cause of this fire at this time. All right, developing news right now. The FDA has just banned red dye, number 3, from the nation's food supply. In 2022, 24 food safety and health advocates filed a petition urging the FDA to revoke authorization for Red 3, which gives some candies, snacks, cakes, and maraschino cherries a bright red hue. FDA officials granted that petition as, quote, a matter of law because some studies found the dye caused cancer in lab rats. This ban comes nearly 35 years after it was barred from cosmetics because of potential cancer risks. And it is luxury living on a whole different level. High-end brands now adding a new feature to the shopping experience, dining. From Tiffany's to Louis Vuitton, Teresa Priolo takes a closer look at the marketing strategy behind these restaurants.
Listen, rich people have to spend their money somewhere, right? So I don't know anything about that.
Have you ever had a meal and thought it was designed perfectly from the drinks to dinner and dessert? Turns out the new trend in hospitality is a luxe culinary experience brought to you by the likes of Louis Vuitton, Tiffany, and even Armani.
They're now extending to experiences. And maybe that's a new idea for them, but it doesn't seem that different, at least in terms of the brand side.
In truth, it isn't the newest trend. Tommy Bahama launched a popular New York City restaurant years ago. Polo Bar by Ralph Lauren took things up a notch when it opened in 2015. And now Louis Vuitton has Le Café Louis Vuitton, New York City, a mix of French and Mediterranean food. Situated next door to the Blue Box Cafe, inspired by Tiffany's Robin Blue Egg and food by Daniel Boulud.
I think for the short term, we're going to see more and more of this. And I think it will reach a point, one, of saturation where it's not novel anymore. And so it stops working quite as well. And also it'll reach a point where the results become knowable.
So it begs the question, given the popularity of all things luxe and the rise of quiet luxury, is this worth your hard-earned money?
100% yes.
You want to stake with an LV?
We are very big on coffee, and anyone who sells it, we will probably buy it.
Maybe if it's an Italian designer, we'll get the coffee.
No, my concept of eating is totally different.
As companies expand, I think food is a reasonable expansion, and it's a place, where people can make a lot of money.
Here's the thing you should know. A meal at one of these places like the LV Cafe is going to set you back a pretty penny. But on the flip side, it's probably cheaper than buying a handbag. In Midtown, Teresa Priolo, Fox 5 News.
Well, there is some serious pineapple pizza shaming going on across the pond. The owners of a popular pizzeria in England charging $121 for anyone who orders a pineapple pie. The co-owner says he's absolutely disgusted of the fruit on pizza. He added the idea of the hefty price started as a joke, as his way of taking a stance against pineapple, but the price holds, and the owners say they will make someone a pineapple pizza if they're willing to pay that price. And if you are a pineapple pizza hater as well, you can blame the Greek immigrant who settled in Canada decades ago. He's widely considered the creator when he added it to the menu of his Ontario restaurant, which opened in 1962. All right, let's take a live look outside. I'm feeling a little bit from pineapple pizza. I have to agree with him, Audrey. I know I don't know. I think that's a polarizing thing.
I like it.
You do?
It. Yes. Have you tried it?
Yes, I have. It's weird.
Okay. Well, you know what we need to try? We need to try to find some warmer things because it is really cold outside. We have snow showers coming downwind of the Great Lakes. They'll clip portions of the Hudson Valley, but the rest of us will stay dry here. A look at the futurecast shows that we're going mostly clear tonight. That's going to help our temperatures drop significantly into the teens in northern and western suburbs, too. Tomorrow we'll have sunshine once again, but then clouds will start to roll in towards the afternoon. They're coming in ahead of some snow showers that are going to work into the region by dinner time tomorrow. So do expect that if you'll be out and about or walking or driving. It could be slick on some of the sidewalks and roadways. Everything moves offshore late tomorrow night, and then on Friday we'll start out with plenty of sunshine. It will still be quite cold, but it won't be quite as frigid as we've been experiencing over the last couple days. Temperatures will now rise into the 40s, which will set us up for a weekend where we're going to see the chance of rain rather than snow. We're looking at a high of 45 on Saturday, Sunday at 41, and then we take a big drop Monday and Tuesday. Highs will only be in the 20s in the city, be in the teens in some of the suburbs. That's cold, Bianca.
That is absolutely right. All right, Audrey, thanks so much. Well, that's your news block for now. Tune into the 5 o'clock news on Fox 5 and right here on Fox Local for all the day's news as it develops. We'll see you back here tomorrow.